What is up, YouTube? And look at my new hat. I got a new hat at Party City with Iron Man in it. Look at the inside of it. Got some quotes from the comics. This looks pretty cool. It's from the Invincible Iron Man. See, I'm going to be wearing this hat along with my other Avengers hat during my videos. Now I have two different hats to choose from. So next is another movies that people bitch about. This is a double bill because I think these films are pretty much connected. I loved these films when I was a kid, and I watched them in the theater. And the critics were not too hard; they were very harsh on these films, but I loved them anyway. And that is the original Home Alone and its sequel, Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. I love both of these movies. I saw this in the theater this year back in November, and I had a great time. I was laughing hysterically at every single joke, at every single pratfall, every single thing that John Hughes wrote in the film. And Chris Columbus did a great job directing this film. Macaulay Culkin was a star because of this film. I loved them in it. I love Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. They're hilarious in the movie. Just the things that they go through. Their performances are really top notch. And it is a holiday classic. I don't know why Rotten Tomatoes gave this like a 40 something percent. That's ridiculous. This is a classic. They don't make Christmas movies like this anymore, especially, during the holidays now, live action, because usually they have animated movies. But I love this movie. I saw this in the theaters this year. I loved it. Loved it as a kid, still love it as an adult 25 years later. It still holds up as a holiday classic I watch every single year. And I'm glad that, it got re-released because I had a great time. I went alone, just like Kevin was home alone, but I related to the character. I just love the family. Even though they treat them like crap, I know the feeling sometimes. The cast is top notch. You got Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, John Hurd, Catherine O'Hara, um, John Candy in a cameo. You have a lot. It's a huge cast, an ensemble that really works. There's a reason that this worked and Pixels didn't, but I'll talk about that next week when I do my best and worst of the year. So keep your eyes on that. That's going to be coming up after I see Star Wars. But I love this movie, and I also love the sequel. This one gets more flack than the first one, and I don't understand it. I have a soft spot for movies that take place in New York City most of the time because I lived in New York City for a long time, and I've seen Manhattan. Manhattan still gives me goosebumps every time I go to it because it's so huge and crowded, and the energy is just insane. And this movie is very funny. I saw this in the theater when I was 7 with my family, and I had a great time. I was laughing hysterically. I thought the traps were better than the first one. It was a little bit longer because there were more characters because they added Tim Curry, Brenda Fricker, and Rob Schneider and a bunch of other people. But it's still as funny as the first one. This was the last good Home Alone sequel with the original cast mostly coming back. It was still written by John Hughes. It was still directed by Chris Columbus. It still felt like a Home Alone movie. I also got to say, both of these movies have amazing scores by John Williams. I love Somewhere in My Memory in both of these films. It's just beautiful. It's so haunting. When I heard that in the theater, I wanted to cry because it was just beautiful. I love that song. It's just amazing, and it's held up even after 20 plus years. It still holds up. And this one, it gets a lot of flack because they said, "Oh, it's a carbon copy of the first film." No, he's in a city that he's not doesn't live in by himself, and he's not in his own house again. It's in a different house, and it's more isolated. Like in the first film, the house was big, and they went to the basement and everything. And this one, they do something different, and the traps are much darker, but it's still hilarious. And just I get a kick out of this sequel. It's 2 hours long, but it didn't feel that long to me. Yeah, there were some things they could have cut out, some side characters that were not really needed in the film, like that French model. But hey, it is what it is. I love both of these movies equally. They're both holiday classics. I watch them every year. It was a part of my childhood, and I will always remember them. Screw Home Alone 3. The only thing good in that is the traps. I don't care about the story of the characters. It's just a carbon copy of this one. 4 was a terrible TV movie where they try to pass off the McAllister family. It's like 4 of them, and the actors look younger than they were in the first 2 films, and it makes no sense. 5, I actually have fun with because it's like a Canadian Home Alone, and it does its own thing, so I can respect it for that. But these are the 2 classics that will live forever, and I love these movies to death. just hilarious, fun comedies that will live in the hearts of many fans. And I'm glad that box set came out because it looks really cool. It'd be good to get one day just for collector's sake. But I will keep these for, nostalgia's sake because I love these movies equally. They're both great movies by Chris Columbus. And I miss these kinds of films in the theater, especially comedy wise, because it didn't rely on fart jokes and sex jokes and all the time. It's good, wholesome fun, and I love those movies for that. So those are two films, a double header. Wanted to throw a curveball in my videos, so it's not just a one video here, one video there. Just I combined it and I say why I love these films. And for the holidays, it's perfect because it's December 6th when I'm doing this, and I love Home Alone and 1 and 2, and 5 is a good standalone for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, sorry about that. It was a bottle of ointment for my knee. I hope you guys are having a good holiday. Uh, buy a lot of presents, write a lot of cards, give. This is a season of giving. I'm giving a lot of myself to other people to make them happy because that's pretty much what this holiday is mostly about. So, thanks for liking, subscribing, and commenting on my videos. You guys are awesome. Hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.